Yay Networks.
We've been in LA for a bit now, and there has been an endless stream of someone in the neighborhood chainsawing something.
Mm-hmm.
Presumably a tree.
Probably.
I hope.
I hope.
Hope it's something not alive. But they've been chainsawing nonstop. So if you hear a bit of a hum behind today's episode,
That's what it is.
there's either a very beautiful piece of woodwork being made or a massacre happening. Just that's the theme of today's episode, maybe.
Yeah, you don't know which way it's going to go.
That's the undertone.
Mm-hmm.
We have some good news to start off today's episode.
We
A
do.
little, very unexpected update. If you saw our video that we made a few months ago about our absolutely nightmare of a time at a TSA identity verification center, if you haven't seen it, real quick recap, Hannah and I were trying to sign up for TSA pre-check. And part of that process is going to a TSA identity center, getting fingerprints and your photo taken, all this, like, make sure you're who you say you are stuff. It didn't go well.
That's a little bit of an understatement. It was completely inaccessible. Shane could not get the fingerprints done. They ended up having to mark off that he has no hands because there was no other option.
After a half hour of trying to, like, break my fingers to get them onto this machine.
And then for the photo, you have to get a photo taken, which makes sense. It was in a spot that a wheelchair could not get to. So I had to lift Shane onto my knee, put my knee on a stool, like a literal, what is that, like a ventriloquism?
Like a Pinocchio.
Mm-hmm. Which was very difficult. That Shane does not balance on a knee particularly well. So the whole thing was just absurd. And we made that video about it.
We made that video to spread awareness that inaccessibility is still a very real world problem.
Even in places where you would guess that it wouldn't be.
But we never expected anything to come from that video. But a few weeks later, we got an email from the TSA. And they were like, hey, we saw your video. And, I began reading the email. And I was like, okay, they're going to say they're sorry. It's going to be some corporate, mumbo jumbo, like, oh, we covering our asses type deal. No, they listed a long list of institutional changes that they are making in their identity verification process.
Yeah.
Thanks to this video and our terrible experience at this testing center. They are now going to be sending out over 500 iPads or tablets to all of their testing centers so that they can take fingerprints, take photos in a much more convenient and mobile manner.
Yeah, maneuverable.
Maneuverable, yeah, that's it, right?
Yeah, so they're making some physical changes to the environment, which is exactly what needed to happen.
Long overdue.
But they are also doing training programs. So they're going to talk to all of their employees about accessibility, and we are going to be consulting on those training programs and how they're going to be, created. So we're excited.
Yeah, we were able to have a phone call with, people in the TSA, and it was clear that this wasn't just some, corporate covering their bases. They are very serious about making sure that their programs are accessible. And this was a wake-up moment for them to realize that for people with physical conditions like mine, their centers were not accessible.
Yeah.
So, it felt like a big win for us. I mean, we spend a lot of our time making content about our life and disability and accessibility out in the world. And, we think of it as advocacy, but people don't often think of YouTube videos as advocacy. But this is proof that, like, making people aware of issues and inaccessibility can create real systemic change. So it sounds like I'm tooting our horns, but I'm just proud that we were able to make a little tiny real difference in the world.
Yeah.
At all the TSA testing centers.
Very specific.
So if you have fingers like mine, bent, withered, gnarled,
Okay.
and you're interested in signing up for TSA PreCheck, just know that in the very near future, all of their testing centers will have iPads that make it easier for your little fingers.
Wow. It's like you're a spokesperson for TSA PreCheck now.
Their agents are right outside the door. That's a joke, just saying TSA. All right, so that was a fun little update. We forgot to tell them what we're going to be doing in this episode.
Oh yeah, we got so excited about our little update that we didn't say anything else.
We have another Hannah's Dumpster Dive.
This one's a little bit shorter. It's, temper your expectations, but I think it's an interesting one. Shane, this dumpster dive is scientific.
The Canadian Geese dumpster dive was also fairly scientific.
No, this one has like a study in it. Brain scans.
You've been dumpster diving.
I have been.
But we got so much good feedback on Hannah's first 2 dumpster dives that we are strongly considering making that a more permanent piece of Junkyard Mayhem.
It's just a lot of work, so I don't know. I kind of like the ones where you're like, let's just do would you rather questions.
Let's just debate each other on pointless questions. Okay, we're going to take a quick break, and then we will be back with Hannah's scientific dumpster dive.
Oh, boy.
And we are back. When we say that we're taking breaks, we actually are taking breaks, having a sip of water or whatever. And without fail, we have a technology issue in between every clip. So this time it was Hannah's notes. She has them on a tablet here.
Yeah. The tablet was dead. How does that happen?
Great. So
it was just charged and it was dead. So I had to find the wire. We had to wait for it to turn on. It was a whole thing.
It is now time for Hannah's Dumpster Dive. This is the series where
you do not need to intro.
If they've never heard of
what
dumpster
dive is,
they might be expecting you to
It's self-explanatory, Shane. It's a dumpster dive.
It is not even close to self-explanatory. Hannah researches topics that interest her and teaches me about them.
Yeah.
This is a common thing in our relationship because Hannah is smart and curious, and I am...
Shane is not curious.
Not.
But he'll listen to me talk.
But I'm an eager student.
No, you just like to make fun of whatever I say.
That's also true.
I'm also in a rolling chair, and I keep rolling away from you.
You should not do that.
This set is very difficult.
You're ruining the audio.
I know. I'm not trying to. Okay. So you know about this first part, Shane. A few months ago, I was watching a viral video of a baby doing something. I don't remember exactly what the baby was doing.
As Hannah often does. And then comes into the room and says, Shane, we really need to have a kid.
Yeah, I'm like, Shane, don't you want a baby? That's like my most common sentence to you. I show you a video and I'm like, don't you want one? So I was watching it. And apparently it was like the ultimate cutest baby video I've ever seen. Because a couple seconds in, I started to feel annoyed, like angry. And I was like, I'm confused. I'm watching this adorable baby video that is truly overwhelming me with the cuteness of it. And yet I'm beginning to feel like this baby just like, what? Like, I just need
She's gripping her fist.
Ugh.
She's like squeezing her fist.
Squeezing the, yeah.
What are you feeling? What is that?
I don't know. That's what I thought to myself. I was like, why am I feeling like,
You're annoyed?
Kind of, yeah.
Angry?
Like, angry. Ugh.
Oh.
Okay.
I'm so confused.
And I had heard of the concept of cute aggression at this point. You've probably seen comments from people being like, I want to squeeze it. It's so cute. Or like, I just want to eat that baby, whatever. And I had never.
Phrase.
Yes, I did too. I had never like actually thought that anyone wanted to like squeeze a cute thing and couldn't relate to it. But apparently this baby video was so cute that I finally experienced cute aggression.
Cute aggression.
And it is a thing, Shane.
This is what the deep dive is?
This is what the deep dive is about.
Dive?
What cute aggression is, why it happens.
It's a real psychological...
Yeah. Oh, it's like a real thing.
Oh, this is
100% a real thing.
I don't know if I've ever experienced it.
I don't think you have because you don't really think things are that cute.
Okay.
And in order... I'm just saying, you've never sent me like a picture or a video and been like, look how cute this is.
No, you're right.
You just don't really care about cute things.
I find things cute, but I don't seek them out as part of my content consumption.
I don't seek it out either. I'm just like, I will stop on a video of a baby and be like, this is so cute. You would never stop on the
Yeah,
video.
I would swipe because I know I'm going to get aggressive. All right, so teach me about cuteness aggression, which I don't know if I believe in at this point.
Okay,
Just in a caveat here, she's going to have to overcome some of my bias because I'm thinking this is not real.
Well, we're going to start with a study by Yale researchers, so I hope that this will...
Yale.
All right, so first of all, about half of all adults experience cute aggression at times.
Ooh.
Okay.
Imagine if you experienced it all the time. You're in a constant state of cute aggression, just walking around. Oh, that's adorable. I want to eat it.
I don't think most people's threshold is that low. I think it's just like when you see something so cute, you know? And so typically when people see something extraordinarily cute, they all have thoughts like, I want to scream or I want to squeeze it. Okay.
Is that kind of like when you see like a kitten, let's say, and it's being adorable and you go, oh, like make a noise? Or is it more intense? I don't like.
No,
I'm trying to relate
it's nothing like that.
I am trying to make a connection to my own experience.
Thank you for trying. No, saying aw is more of the cute part. So the Yale study actually, like their two emotions, aggression and care, are the two that they put around a cute object. Okay. So like happy, sad, aggression, and care. Okay. So an aw is like care. You see a cute kitten and you go aw and you're feeling care toward that kitten.
Okay.
That's not aggression. But good try.
Makes sense.
Okay, anyway. And there's no actual desire to harm behind cute aggression. It's not the kind of anger where you like actually want to harm the baby. It's not that kind of a thing.
Okay.
And that'll make more sense in a minute. So there have been multiple very interesting studies done on cute aggression in the past decade or so.
I'm imagining that these studies are like, they place a tiny baby in front of people and see if they squeeze it.
It's about pictures of babies, but one study, I don't want to give it away too much, but one study uses bubble wrap. To see if you want to squeeze.
Oh, this is exciting.
Okay. So we're going to first talk about a study done by the Yale researchers in 2014. And their study was about dimorphous expressions of positive emotion.
What does dimorphous mean?
Well, like two opposing, dimorphous. Okay. So basically, I'm going to explain it to you now. Intense positive emotions like happiness typically produce intense positive expressions. So you'll smile or you'll laugh, you know, when you're very happy, you'll be perceived as very happy. You'll be smiling, whatever, but those intense positive emotions can also produce expressions that we typically reserve for negative emotions. So, for example, you might cry when you receive a particularly thoughtful gift from someone. Yeah. And that doesn't mean you're sad. It's just you're really, really happy and you're having a dimorphous expression of emotion. You're crying.
Often when Hannah and I are watching a movie and there's a really like sentimental or cute or emotional part, I tear up.
Yeah.
So I'm experiencing a dimorphous expression of my happiness.
Exactly. And feeling angry at the sight of an adorable baby is a dimorphous expression. So it's the same phenomenon.
I just love the idea of seeing something cute and getting angry about
That
it.
happened to me, Shane. That literally happened to me. It was so cute. It happened to me. Okay. So this study used two different surveys. They had like photos that they showed people. There were questionnaires. There were puzzles that they had to do. And the researchers found that people who tend to express their emotions in a dimorphous manner, so people who tend to cry at a wedding or cry at a movie, do so as a general response across a variety of situations. So people who tend to cry at a wedding tend to also experience cute aggression. So it's a little strange that you would cry at a happy thing and never experience cute aggression.
Interesting.
It's
maybe
different.
I have experienced it. Maybe by the end of this segment, I will have unlocked a memory where I was experiencing cuteness aggression.
Maybe.
I mean, you're pretty cute.
Thank you. I'm going to show you.
I'm usually pretty angry when I'm around you. So
I'm going to show you a variety of like cute images after this and try to get you to feel cute aggression. And that's also like true in my experience because I remember I don't cry often at things. However, I do cry sometimes.
You never cry.
No, but I do remember crying at the airport when my mom surprised me with one of my best friends visiting for my birthday. I think it was like my 20th birthday. And she told me that she had to pick up a package at the airport, which like, I'm sorry, who does that? And I believed her. I was like, okay, I'll go with you.
Yeah, that's a normal thing to do.
I'll help you pick up the package at the airport.
Is it a human package?
I had no idea. And then my friend walked out into baggage claim and I just started crying. So that happened. And
then Hannah tried to eat her. Because she experienced cuteness reaction.
My friend was so cute. And then more recently, when we were on our way here to LA, I was looking on Google Maps at the area around our house where we were going to be staying. And I saw that there was a New York style pizza place just a few minutes away. And I teared up. I was so happy. And I told Shane, I was like, Shane, I just started crying a little bit at the idea that I will have that good of pizza for the next couple months.
Shout out Mulberry Street Pizza.
Yeah. Can you believe that? I really did start crying.
I don't know if I believe you about the pizza thing, but
it's true. It's true, Shane. I couldn't believe it. I think I was already in an emotionally fragile state, and I was so excited that I just started to cry.
I wonder if factors like stress or like pressure affect whether or not you'll be more likely to experience.
That's a very good. My guess is
email
yes.
Yale.
You should.
Does anyone have a contact? Do you have the researchers' info down there?
Well, I think the answer to that is yes, because the researchers at Yale believed, after these studies, that dimorphous expressions happen to help us regulate our emotions. So when we suddenly experience an extreme positive emotion, our brain is like, whoa there, chill out. Let me give you the opposite of that. So it literally gives you the opposite emotion to be like, just come back down a little bit. Let's not freak out.
What's wrong with being too happy?
Well, the thing is, like, we do that when we're negative also. Our brains are like, they're trying to keep us central.
That's why when I'm feeling just absolutely crushed, I begin to giggle.
Well, that's the thing is like, it doesn't really work the other way. Like, thanks a lot, brain. I was enjoying my cute video. If I'm watching a sad video, I'm not happy.
Well, to be honest, I wonder if sarcasm and irony are kind of linked to this,
Laughing at a funeral. Like, people do laugh in uncomfortable situations. It's the same thing.
Right. And like, when you're feeling really upset about something, sarcasm is kind of like making light of it.
Humor. Yeah.
Wow.
So anyway.
This is just convincing me that I need to be a researcher at Yale because
I know
the ideas that I'm unlocking in my own mind are profound.
You're not unlocking a single idea. I'm telling you these ideas.
Wait, is this what learning feels like? These ideas are being unlocked.
Oh my God. Okay. So basically, I felt so much joy that there was a pizza place near our Airbnb that my brain was like, you need to
settle down.
Cry a little bit. Just take it down a notch. So the researchers at Yale studied this through surveys, as we said. But a psychologist from the University of California, Riverside, Catherine Stavropoulos, wanted to see what cute aggression actually looked like in the brain as it was happening. So here's our brain scan segment.
Ooh.
I know. So she and a colleague recorded the electrical activity in the brains of 54 young adults as they looked at images of people and animals. The images included both grown-ups and babies, and some had been manipulated to look more or less appealing.
I wonder how they did that.
I know.
Let's make this dimple a little bit bigger.
Well, the adorable ones were made to have big cheeks, big eyes, small noses, and all the features of a baby that we find cute.
Let's put this baby inside of a peach.
Okay, Shane. So the study found that for the entire group of participants, so everybody, when they saw the cuter creatures, they were associated with greater activity in the areas of the brain that involve emotion. So they were, seeing the cuter things was more emotional to them.
Interesting.
For everyone, which is kind of funny that like we as humans have an actual brain reaction to something having bigger cheeks, We're like, oh, that's cute.
I mean, it was obviously the size of your cheeks that fired off my emotional centers in my brain.
Yeah, and your tiny nose was just so appealing to me. So everyone had higher levels of emotion at cuter things. However, the more cute aggression a person felt, so they were saying like, I'm feeling cute aggression, the more activity the scientists saw in the brain's reward system. So these people were not just feeling, a lot of positive emotions. They were also, the reward system in their brain was firing. So they were getting a double impact of positivity from this cute baby. So basically this suggests that people who think about squishing a baby or who experience cute emotion.
Can we like use a non-living, let's say a really cute
toy
pineapple.
A really cute pineapple. They appear to be having two simultaneous brain reactions, not just reward and not just emotion, but both. And this combination can be overwhelming. It's just too much. And so scientists suspect that the brain begins producing aggressive thoughts to compensate for all of this positivity.
I wonder if the brain thinks that, like, if you do experience too much positive and too much reward, you know, in your brain, are you gonna like max out and combust?
I think
it's protecting you from something.
I think it's more about like, since it's on a brain level, it's probably we need to focus, like get back to reality that this is not important.
You can't spend an hour just like seething over how adorable you think that this pineapple is.
Exactly. Let's just get back to work.
You have to get to your job. Your actual baby needs you.
Or like you need, your baby needs, like you have responsibilities and you are out of control.
Get off of TikTok.
Yeah.
You've been on the toilet for an hour.
So this study was visual confirmation of what the Yale researchers had thought, that, cute aggression happens when the brain is overwhelmed by cuteness and needs to be reined in.
So interesting.
I know.
I want to experience it.
I know.
Show me a baby. Show me a pineapple.
I just don't know if you feel your emotions deeply enough.
Well, maybe I need to work on that.
Maybe you do. I'll show you a lot of really cute images after this. So the last thing we're going to talk about is another Yale study that had people watch slideshows of cute, funny, or normal animal pictures. So they were assigned to one of the three.
What does a normal animal look like?
An adult animal, probably.
Like an armadillo?
Yeah. Like
something that no one's going to be like, oh,
I think they're kind of cute. But, just like normal animal photos. And then you could have really, really cute ones that are baby animals, funny ones. So they were assigned to one, a little duck. And everyone was given a sheet of bubble wrap. And they were told to pop as many or as few bubbles as they felt compelled to as they watched the slideshow.
That's not fair because bubble wrap's just fun to pop.
I thought about that. I was like, did they tell them like to do it if you only feel like popping something? I don't know.
They said when your emotional tea kettle is about to bubble over,
pop a bubble.
Pop a bubble.
Yeah.
Nice and scientific.
Yeah. So they found that the people watching the cute slideshow popped significantly more bubbles than those viewing the control or funny photo slideshows.
It's maniacal. You're just sitting there like enjoying the cute video, and you're like, pop more.
All right. So I think that the perfect place to end this dumpster dive is the final paragraph of the write-up about this study that I was reading. I didn't read the actual study for this one. I read the other one. But the Scientific American summary is what I read. And this is their closing paragraph. I think the last sentence is it's a fun one.
I'd like to point out that I think we've quoted the Scientific American in every dumpster dive that you've done.
I know. I think we have really aligned interests, me and them.
Seems to be your go-to source.
All right. So here's their closing paragraph. Cute aggression's prevalence does not mean that people actually want to harm cuddly critters, Aragon explains. Rather, the response could be protective, or it could be the brain's way of tamping down or venting extreme feelings of giddiness and happiness. The scientists are currently conducting additional studies to determine what drives the need to squeeze.
No.
That was their last sentence.
That writer wrote that and was like, done. Boom.
Yep.
I am sending this to my editor.
So
that's interesting.
That was cute aggression.
The need, like a protective thing, is also interesting.
Yeah.
Because if I find, a baby fills me with so much joy that I feel like aggression about it, it's not at the baby, but maybe I'm like more prone to fight off someone that might take the baby.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like a predator. This is our animal brains. Or maybe it's that we are so inundated with cute content these days at our fingertips.
No, Shane,
we can see babies being cute in less than 30 seconds and watch it all day long if we want. And maybe as a society, our brains are changing and we no longer are able to properly process our emotions.
First of all, this predates that. Second of all, I'm just going to ignore the rest of it. Can you please repronounce inundated for me?
How did I say it? Inundated?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. When I thought of the word as I was flowing through the sentence, I was much further ahead in the sentence in my brain, figuring out where I was going. And so when I got to the word inundated, I didn't have time to go back and recalibrate and figure out whether or not I was saying that correctly.
Maybe scientists should study you. and your interesting way of thinking.
I think if I've proven one thing in this segment, it is that I am capable of coming up with ideas and conjectures that warrant further exploration by people smarter than me. Maybe hire me.
How did you, when did you prove that? What did you say?
Just all the really important things that I've been saying, that I've been bringing into your scientific report here.
Wow. Thank you so much for adding all of that to the scientific report. It really did make it a lot more interesting.
If you are the dumpster diver, I am the trash.
Okay.
Okay, we're going to take a quick break. And we'll be right back with Am I the Asshole?
All right, so we are back with Am I the Asshole? Shane selected this from Reddit this morning. I have not read it yet.
You have not read it.
I have not
from
read
Reddit.
it. Reddit. Funny. So we're going to read this post that someone posted on Reddit, and we are going to decide whether or not they are the asshole. They're going to ask us, and we are going to weigh in with our opinion. And if you are watching this on YouTube, feel free to comment with your opinion as well.
This is very important stuff here. There's an anonymous stranger from somewhere in the world that is just worried that they might be an asshole. And we're going to tell them if they are or not.
We did this a couple episodes ago. Did people agree with us, Shane?
It was split, but more people felt that we were correct, that the main character was not the asshole.
Wow.
So you'll have to go back and find that.
Huh. Okay. My son, who is 4 years old, had a sleepover last night with a friend. This friend's parents were doing my wife and I a huge favor because my wife's father had surgery yesterday and we needed to be there and didn't get home until after midnight. So yes, this story begins with us already in debt to them. Anyway, at nap time today, my son started freaking out because he couldn't find Sleepy Dumbo, his stuffed animal.
That sounds like you, Hannah.
And he cannot sleep without Sleepy Dumbo. I remembered that when I picked him up, I didn't see Sleepy Dumbo, so I text the mom and dad of the friend. I get no response. My wife is a wreck, so I'm not bothering her with this, but my son is freaking out. So I tell him we will get in the car and go get Sleepy Dumbo, and he's slightly calmed down. So we drive over and I try to call them both on the way. When we get there, I knock and we wait a bit with no answer. At this point, my son starts freaking out more because he is afraid something happened to Sleepy Dumbo.
Where is Sleepy Dumbo?
I try to reassure him, but he starts crying. I knock again, and the wife of the couple answers. She says she is working and asks what I want. I explain about Sleepy Dumbo. She again says she's working and says she doesn't have time to look for Dumbo and tells us to come back later. My son starts freaking out more. I ask if we can look. She says she needs to focus. I promise to be fast. She lets me in. We get to his friend's room. Sleepy Dumbo is on the bed. My son gets him and I hustle us out. I thank the mom, but she is glaring at me. Oh boy. On the way home, he hugs Sleepy Dumbo the whole time. I remind him to be more careful with Sleepy Dumbo in the future, and at home, nap time commences peacefully. About an hour ago, my wife and I both got this text. I'm going to copy and paste it. I really don't appreciate the way you barged into my house earlier today while I was working. I know you both have a lot going on right now, but the world doesn't revolve around you. My husband and I agreed to do you a favor, but that doesn't mean you get to just walk all over us. In the future, if you call and we don't answer, that means it isn't a good time to come over. All right, the text is over now. Back to the narrator. I felt very embarrassed and guilty after reading that. My wife, however, is furious. She called the wife of the other couple some indelicate names. I am really grateful to them for agreeing to babysit for us, and I accept that I am to blame for forgetting Sleepy Dumbo the first time. I don't know if asking to come in and get him is quite as big a deal as she is making it out, though, and my wife is pissed. I don't know how much of that is misplaced fear for her dad, though. Am I an asshole, or was this just an unfortunate situation?
First of all, Sleepy Dumbo sounds so cute that I just want to rip it to shreds.
Oh my God.
I'm going to pulverize it and then shove it down my throat.
Shane.
I want to eat Sleepy Dumbo.
You don't, you're just.
Hannah, I'm experienced cuteness aggression.
You're not.
Oh.
You're making a mockery of a scientific thing.
Anyway, is this father the asshole, in your opinion?
You want me to go first?
Yeah, sure.
Ooh, this is a tricky one.
It is.
Like, I really, really want the other person's perspective because I highly doubt that this is just like a one-time thing and this person's freaking out about it. It's just like, this isn't adding up. So I'm like, the other person must be experiencing something that is culminating in this event. Like, do these people typically overstep or are they perceived to overstep? Do you know what I'm saying?
I think it's a little bit strange that the person asked to go into the house, that the father asked to go into the house.
See, I don't think that's weird for them. I like, first of all, I think it's a little bit weird that you would call, receive no response, text, receive no response, and then go over.
And then go over there, yeah.
Like, I would never do that.
For a stuffed animal. I mean,
For any reason.
This kid was freaking out.
It doesn't, no, but like, you can't just go to someone's house if they're not, like, I just think that's a little weird. And then knocking and waiting and knocking again, like repeatedly knocking.
Yeah, it's a little rude.
It's just odd.
It's
like
presumptuous.
Yeah.
It's like, you're just not answering me, but you must be available. You must be home.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I also think it's weird to open the door and be angry and just like glaring and saying, you know, that you're busy working. Like, I don't think it's a big deal to then just like let someone grab the stuffed animal off your son's bed. Like, A, are you really not able to get the stuffed animal off the bed? And then B, is it really that big of a deal to just let someone else get the stuffed animal?
Okay, but let's take the mom's, you know, annoyance as truth.
Yeah.
Maybe she was in a very important meeting.
Yeah.
Like, let's say you and me were on a public speaking on Zoom.
And someone's banging on the door.
Banged on our door after calling us, and we like can't not get the door because they're now interrupting our meeting. I would be annoyed. I'd be like,
really
what the heck?
For a stuffed animal also. Like, I understand that your 4-year-old son is very attached to the stuffed animal, but I also think like maybe today is just going to be a rough day and you can get the stuffed animal this evening.
Yeah. See, I think that this father was slightly the asshole for asking to go in. I mean, he's already being the asshole by going over there anyway.
Yeah.
And then to be like, I'm just going to come in. Like, did he walk through her meeting? You know, like if she was literally on the meeting or doing something important, he interrupted it. And there are other ways to have a kid not cry.
Yeah.
You know, you can.
Or your kid cries today because it doesn't have Sleepy Dumbo. You know?
Wait an hour.
Yeah.
The kid will get bored. So my final verdict is that the narrator is the asshole. Slightly. I understand why he was doing it.
It's understandable. And I also think that sending that text was unnecessary. Unless this is like a very common reoccurring thing. I just don't understand why you would need to text someone. Like, the world doesn't revolve around you. Stop walking all over us. Like, that just seems very aggressive.
It
for
wasn't
like
proportional. Yeah.
No, like someone needs to get their stuffed animal. Like, that just seems a little odd. So I'm like, maybe this happens a lot or something. But I don't think that they deserved that response, especially with like a surgery happening and like stress and stuff. But
and a kid who clearly has a very important attachment to Sleepy Dumbo. But maybe you and me are misguided. So you know, let us know what you think in the comments. Is this father an asshole?
Yeah.
Is the mom an asshole that sent the mean text? Who knows? Right.
We sure don't.
We don't. All right, everyone. That was Junkyard Mayhem episode, I don't know,
12.
50.
12.
12. Someday that number is going to be wrong and everyone's going to let us know about it. But if you enjoyed this episode, we hope that you will like it and share it, review it, leave a comment, play it again.
Wow.
Listen to it 10 times today.
Yeah.
If you're feeling any sort of cuteness aggression about us, I mean, we are charming, we are funny, and it has a very cute face. Try to just take a deep breath.
Yeah, breathe through it.
Breathe through it.
Pop some bubble wrap.
Yeah, pop some bubble wrap.
Vent that aggression.
Squeeze a baby. All right, everyone. That is all for today. It is a junkyard out there, and Sleepy Dumbo is hiding amongst the rubbish.
Okay.
Please find him.